I'd like to thank you all for coming here this morning. I really appreciate the turnout, and I know these guys do and the coaches do. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Kevin DeVries. I'm the new Director of Athletic Communications and Technology here. So I'm kind of like the old Sports Information Director that kind of expanded on that role. So I'll be like your media liaison between the teams, between the athletes and the coaches. Basically, just run down today's agenda. After myself, Dr. Smith will be speaking, and then Athletics Director Josh Moon will say a few words, and then after him, we'll get Coach Dosh up here. He'll kind of read an opening statement, make a few comments, and then we'll open it up to Q&A with him. And then after he goes, I think he's going to introduce all the student athletes in back here, and we'll open it up to some Q&A for them as well. Afterwards, if you'd like to do, like I see a lot of media here, if you want to do kind of a one-on-one interview with any of the coaches or players, just let me know and we can get that set up for you guys. So without further ado, President Smith.
Well, good morning, everyone. I apologize to those of you who are driving around looking for parking. It's Provost Holly's fault, not mine, that we have the back-to-school teachers workshop today, and about 550 K-12 teachers are over in the Johnson Fine Arts main auditorium. So they sucked up all your parking spaces, and I apologize for that. Those of you who parked illegally with me over here on the side, let's hope we're not towed away. If we are, Coach Olson tells me he's going to pay our towing bill. So that's a good thing. That'll be the first bill you paid, Bob, we might add. Yes. Some who know you are laughing harder than others. We have great excitement for the season. As I think you can see by the gentleman behind you, they have great excitement for the season. I will tell you, they look good. They have long pants on. They have shoes that aren't flip-flops. Well, I'm looking. Yeah, there we go. A couple of them backing up now. I drove by where the guys are in the ice water over here, and I don't know if some of you have seen that visual, but these guys look a heck of a lot better than those guys. I think it was a rather large linemen that were there, and the water was cascading over the top of the, well, I don't need to say anymore. You all can figure that out. Coach Dosh has done a wonderful job, and many of you know Tom and you know his staff, but one of the things that I think we find from programs that grow and develop as ours has grown and developed is that you do it by maintaining your staff. And Tom has virtually the same staff he had when he started, with just very few exceptions. And I think that tells you a lot about Tom as a leader and as a developer of colleagues as well as a developer of young men. And we're excited about the season. I think this morning I was noticing you weren't doing many passing drills because you couldn't see. I could see you guys, but that was about it. I couldn't even see Jordy Hall early this morning. A little bit of a fog issue. I know the entire coaching staff's excited about the season. We know that we will do well. And the question that some of you always like to ask is, you'll ask Coach Dosh, I'm going to try to get this off the table, Tom. You'll ask Coach Dosh what he thinks the numbers will be for this season. And he's going to tell you we want to win every game, starting with our first game. And then we'll go to our second game. So you're not going to get him to give you a number. I could just tell you, so if you're doing media prep, he's not going to do that. It's great to see local talent. Some of you know Logan Dosh is here. We have young men from close by and small towns. We have certainly grads from Aberdeen Central. We have grads that are from Groton and small towns that are close by. And then we have student athletes that are from far, far away. And I think that's what makes our program work, is that we concentrate on getting as much local talent as we can, and then we look for the best talent available around the country. And again, to commend Tom and his staff, we've done a very good job of doing that. The part that does good for our president's heart is the fact that this team GPA was 3.0 last spring. Now, I'm going to tell you that that is not something that you find in every football staff around the country, every football team around the country. To get a 3.0 GPA is really a tough obstacle on our campus, and I think it tells us a lot about the dedication to being a student and being a student athlete. We know that you're going to to have the opportunity to see home contests and away contests, and I encourage you to see both. Some of our travels are far, some of those are not so far. So certainly when we're here and we're home, we'd love to see all of you and at least 50 to 75 of your closest friends with you in the stands. But when we travel, think about seeing some of those games as well. I know we'll be at the University of Sioux Falls, which is certainly not a long trip for some of us, and I encourage you to see us both home and away. I also encourage you to be loud. And I say this to the band, and they listen. If you sit up where I sit, the band makes a lot of noise. We've even been threatened with penalties because of the band making noise. Some of our drummers just keep drumming, and the officials don't always like that. But I think if you ask any of the young men behind you, the excitement that they hear from the crowd makes a difference. So be there, be loud, be excited. And I always finish with the same two words, but I need to tell you that next will be our athletic director, Josh Moon. Go Wolves. Thank you very much.
Well, welcome, everybody. Just to let you know, this is the first time we've actually have this streaming live, so I want to welcome everybody on the web as well. So we have a lot of families watching this today, so it's just great to have the Wolves family here. As Dr. Smith said, this is certainly a exciting time of the year. There's a buzz and excitement we haven't seen with Northern State football in a long time. And our coaching staff, led by Tom Dosh, has done a tremendous job building this program back to where we believe it can go in a championship caliber program. I think the testament of the student athletes we have behind us here, 3.0 GPA. I think we had almost 60 guys here this summer working out all summer, so they've been putting a lot of time in. We talk about being champions every day, and I think the juniors and seniors that are here exemplify that. As Dr. Smith said, our season opener, September 7th, very excited about that. We host Wayne State at 6 p.m. at Swisher Field. That will be a big-time atmosphere out there, trying to get as many people out there as possible. So having the night game, lots of events for kids, new Wolves Club membership event out there under the tent, free tailgate, things like that. So really encourage everybody to get out there for that first game. And as Dr. Smith said, we'll have more events as the year goes, playing Sioux Falls the second week, another big tailgate down there. So we're excited about this football team, the program, and again, the student athletes that are sitting behind us here. Excited to hear from them today. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Coach Tom Dosh. Coach is entering his fourth season at Northern State University. Him and the team are coming off their best season in 7 years. The 26th coach in Northern State University history, Coach Tom Dosh.
Thank you, Josh. Dr. Smith. Appreciate everybody coming out here today. It was actually a 3.02 GPA we had this spring, in case anybody's wondering. But it was the first time we've achieved that. So, and we had 47 guys on our team in the spring who were at a 3.0 or higher, which was of our returning guys. About 2/3 of our returners were at a 3.0 or higher, which is pretty remarkable and something we're certainly proud of. A couple of things in saying what Dr. Smith said. We were able to throw it this morning, but we couldn't punt or kick it much at all because it was pretty foggy. Me and some of the players were trying to figure out ahead of time which body of water is bringing all this fog in. So we don't know if it's Mina Lake or if it's Richmond or if it's just Wiley Lake. I'm not sure what it is, but something's bringing all this fog in the morning. So the guys like it. They'd rather have this than a bunch of steam anyway. So, so that part of it's been good. We've been out here a couple days. I think, one of the things, what you always look for in any sport, any coach will tell you this, but certainly with football, it's such a numbers game, and getting guys here and then keeping them here is really, really a challenge. And that's why instead of just inviting the seniors, I wanted to have all the guys who have been here, either the seniors or guys who've been here for as long as I've been here or ever since with our incoming first class. So we've got, I believe, 22 guys behind you who have been here for all 4 of their years, or if they've transferred in, they're a senior as well. But that's really critical in any sport, but especially in football, especially in our league, as critical, as physical as our league is. You've got to get guys here and you've got to keep them here. And we're able to do a good job of that. I think a lot of these guys, I talk with our team a lot about leaving your legacy, and part of that is making sure you make it a good experience for the incoming guys coming into our football program. And these guys have really done a tremendous job. So being good students is part of it, being good players is part of it, but also being good ambassadors of the game of Northern State and being guys, hey, 4 or 5 years from now, I want guys to be talking about how they learned from you. And that's really the group of guys that are standing behind you. So I'm going to introduce our coaching staff. I better start off with my absolute number one assistant. And as Dr. Smith and I have agreed, I've got a couple degrees. Neither one of us is in stupid. I don't have a degree in stupid, so I can introduce my wife first, Tina, our 2 kids, daughter Lauren, and Matthew, who is 6. And like any coach will tell you, any coach's family will tell you, obviously when you start with your family and our assistants and our other sports, they're the ones when the season starts, especially for us, they don't get to see us a whole lot. So they make as big a sacrifices as anybody does. So it's great to see them. I will just introduce our coaching staff. They can just step up right in front of Blake. Their assistant head coach, offensive coordinator Mark Martin, offensive line coach, recruiting coordinator Mike Schaefer, defensive line coach Matt McClagan, defensive backs coach Jason Hoskins, and his daughter Ella is here too. She's the assistant secondary coach, it looks like to me. I like her enthusiasm. Wide receivers coach Maya Tupou. Maya's been on our staff longer than anybody. He's been here for 10 years, one of the longest tenured coaches of our entire athletic department. Graduate assistant Shane Clancy coaches our outside linebackers. Graduate assistant Jordan Brown coaches our tight ends. Really, and going back with what Dr. Smith said, our only new addition that we have on our staff this year, and again, you're going to turn over some graduate assistants every year. Brandon Gorsuch is our assistant coach coaching our safeties. And then Adam Kiefer, who's a student here at Northern and is foolish enough to want to get into coaching, I guess. So he's been out here with us for 3 years now, and a lot of times he's the first guy here and the last guy to leave. So they just does a great job. So really, just to reiterate what Dr. Smith said earlier, really a key, obviously, you got to get good players and keep them here. You got to get good coaches and keep them here as well. So your players aren't relearning stuff every year. I had a guy 2 years ago, one of our offensive linemen who graduated, Keith Mayer, who's an Aberdeen Central guy, and he was here for 5 years. He told me, Coach, I had 4 offensive line coaches in 5 years. Well, it's really hard to get good at something if you're learning something new every year. And I think that's been a big part of our continuing to build this thing, is getting guys who have bought into this program and who are committed to staying here. And so that's been a big part of our success. Also, our strength and conditioning coaches, Coach Todd Berner in the back. And is Coach Fritz here or not? No, Dylan Fritz, another one of our strength and conditioning coaches, who have done a tremendous job with our guys, getting them bigger and stronger. So that being said, I'll really get right into our team. I'll just really kind of just give a quick overview of maybe each position. And if you have any questions, you can fire those at me, and then our staff and our players will be around here at the end. You start at, when I took the job in 2010, we only had 40-some guys on our team, and I think we had 112 guys report to fall camp on Tuesday. So again, getting our numbers up. One of the things when I went to the first meeting I went to in January of 2010, our team meeting, somebody asked me how it went. I said, well, it was okay, I guess. Obviously we don't have a number. I said, I don't think anybody invited any of the linemen there. And one of the coaches said, no, they were all there, Coach. So that was probably the biggest thing, because we weren't very big at all. So when you looked at our team then, we didn't look like a college team should look like. That's something that's changing, I think. And that's one of the strengths of our team right now. That was supposed to be a joke, by the way. But anyway, really one of the strengths. You start with our offensive line, and really when you look at good teams at any level across the board, you got to be good on your offense and defensive lines. And right now we've got 9 guys returning who have played some meaningful snaps for us on the offensive line. Several of them have started. We had a lot of injuries at those spots last year, and luckily we had some depth there last year. So you cannot teach or you can't coach experience. You either have it or you don't. We've got some experience there. A couple guys, Justin Parsons is going into his 3rd year as an offensive lineman, starter for us on the offensive line. Jake Holguin started every game for us last year. John Caspers started several, was injured. Kyle Cabral started several. Hayden Gowden started several. And then also B.J. Wright, Logan Brackey, Scott Shanks, and Clay Greenwood all played a pretty significant amount of plays at some point in time. So we like the competition we've got there. We know we're probably going to get banged up there a little bit, but we like the competition we've got, and we want to continue that.